Hey, we are live. Oh my goodness, it's Valentine's Day. I hope you're all having a very, very happy Valentine's Day. I'm here in New York where it's been chilly. It snowed this week, but we've got a beautiful sunny day. It's Valentine's Day, and I couldn't think of anything more romantic or anything that I'd want more than talking about how to book clients through your website and how to have options open to you in your business and how to have options open to you financially. That to me is some romance. So we are here on Valentine's Day. We're live. I'm going to give a couple of minutes for people just to pop into the broadcast. And in the meantime, if you are coming in here live, I want you to hop into the chat and introduce yourself. Tell me where you're tuning in from, what your business is, and let's chat. Okay, I'm going to pull up the chat here so that I can see it and I can talk to you all. Let me see, let me refresh the page. Awesome. Oh, there we go. Looks like my mic was muted. Can you hear me now? Okay. If you can hear me loud and clear, I want you to drop me a note in the chat. If you can see me okay, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or give me a smiley face or just say yes so that I know that we're good to go and that all the tech is working exactly like it's supposed to be. Oh, I just saw Shelly pop into the chat. Hey, Shelly, it's so good to see you. How is your Valentine's Day going with your two little kiddos in Florida? I am hanging out here. I'm preparing for the webinar. I've been getting so excited to share all of this stuff with you. Oh, I see more of you popping into the chat. Fantastic. Abby, welcome. Becky, welcome. Becky's from Wisconsin. She hears everything. Becky, are you in Wisconsin right now? Is it super snowy and chilly? Let's see. Shelly says that her Valentine's Day is going swell. She's happy to be here with me. Oh, Shelly, I'm happy that you're here too. And then Maya says that yes, she can see and hear me. Fantastic. Heather says yes, both work well. Oh, you guys, this is like music to my ears. Tech happens to the best of us, so I'm so happy that this is all working well. Becky says that yes, oh my gosh, they just got so much snow in Wisconsin. I can only imagine. And I actually love it when it snows a ton in the city. Like one year it snowed 20 inches in a day and the whole city shut down. It got really quiet and I went sledding in Central Park and it was just great. So I actually love those big snow days. Hari says, greetings from our nation's capital. I can hear you. Hey, Hari, it's so great to see you. And I hope that all is well down in DC. How are things down there? Have you guys gotten the cold front as well? Or are you sort of where New York is? Katie says that she's supposed to get 6 inches tomorrow in KC. Oh, Katie, you better get out those sweaters. Keep warm. We're going to keep chatting for a few more minutes just as people pop on, and then in a couple of minutes, I'll just go ahead and jump right into the material. So keep introducing yourselves. Where are you guys tuning in from? I know we have Wisconsin, we have Florida, we have DC. What else do we have? I know that there's somebody planning to be here from New Zealand today, which is like the coolest thing I can think of. It's actually Friday morning in New Zealand. So she's tuning in from the future, from the other side of the globe to me, which I just think is like completely magical. Oh, awesome. We have Ontario. I love Canada. I think Canada is just beautiful and delightful. We have Austin, Texas. Awesome. We have got, we've got another we have New Zealand. Erica, you made it. So good to see you here. She said it's 70 degrees and sunny here in New Zealand. Erica, man, you have it good. We have Puerto Rico. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. I have never been to Puerto Rico, but I've just heard the most amazing things. We have the UK. Brilliant. That's where I'm from originally, if you couldn't tell. But I've been in the States for a long time, so it's kind of, the accent is kind of British-ish. It comes and goes. All right, we have San Fran. That is awesome. Gosh, you guys are just tuning in from everywhere. I'm so, so excited to have you here. And thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your Tuesday to come join me on this workshop, 5 Secrets to a Simple Site that sells. We're going to get started in just a minute. Oh, I see we've got LA. That's so cool. I have a co-working space here in New York, actually, Crystal, that just opened a location in LA, and it looks absolutely stunning. It's like this beautiful space only for women. The decor is beautiful. So you should go check them out. They're called The Wing. Hari says, we're grateful that America hasn't taken all the charm out of your voice. Well, I'll leave it up to you to decide. The Americans think I'm English and the Brits think I am American, and I just do my thing. Let's see. Ooh, Anna Lynn says that we are at -2 today, which isn't too bad. Anna Lynn, you are a trooper. I find I have a very narrow temperature comfort zone, and anything out of that, I'm like shivering under a blanket or like sweating it out in the heat. So good for you. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and jump into the content because we're at 1:05. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we'll get started with the slideshow. Okay. Perfect. All right, let me know in the chat if you can see these slides okay. We have Rosemary tuning in from Hawaii. That is fantastic, Rosemary. There might be like a little 20-second delay here. So, oh, good. Jen and Shelly can see the slides. Fantastic. All right, let's get started. I'm going to take a sip of water because I am about to do a lot of talking. Okay, so welcome to everybody. Welcome Jen, welcome Shelly, welcome Anna Lynn, welcome Crystal and Jessie and Hari, and everybody tuning in from around the world and around the country. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so happy that you've taken some time out of your Tuesday afternoon to tune into this workshop with me. As you know by now, this is the 5 secrets to a simple site that sells, and this workshop is all about teaching you the 5 things you need to know to set up a site that not only looks pretty, but also helps you book clients and grow your business. So if we have not met yet, I'm Cami, and I'm a booked out web designer. I'm also one of 6 recommended designers in the resource area of Marie Forleo's B-School program. I'm a Squarespace Circle member, and I am a die-hard fan of the trashiest TV show on the planet, also known as The Bachelor. I don't know if I have any other Bachelor fans in here, but if you also love The Bachelor, let me know in the chat. I realize that this is terrible TV, but I can't help myself. So because you're probably on your phone right now, I wanted to let you know that if you want to connect with me after the workshop, come DM me on Instagram at Cami Fari, friend me, send me a note, and then use the hashtag SSB to share about this webinar, to share any notes that you've taken. It stands for Simple Site Blueprint, but it is way easier to type. So at Cami Fari and hashtag SSB. Oh, I just saw Irene pop in here. Welcome, Irene. It's great to have you. Now, before we get started, guys, I want you to grab a pen and a notebook because we're going to be covering a lot of ground here, and you'll definitely want to take notes. You can also screenshot these slides if you want to. Do whatever you need to do to get the information down and make sure you have it. And then just for this hour, just for this tiny little bit of this Tuesday, I'd like you to get off of Crackstagram and close all your browser tabs. I know that I spend way too much time on my phone and Instagram, and I'm always like sneakily checking it in the background. And so if that's you, I want you to get off the Crackstagram and devote this time to you and your business. This is your time right now. And then also stay tuned because there's a special offer for those of you who stay until the end. We'll be running for about an hour, and we'll also be doing a live Q&A. So Caroline from my team is here in the chat, and Caroline is going to be collecting your questions as you go along and organizing them for me so that I can answer them all at the end. So pop your questions in the chat as you go, and Caroline will get all of them, and then we'll answer them at the end of the webinar. All right, so which of these sounds like you? All I want is simplicity and clarity. Help. You're not sure which tech tools are best, and there are so many options and conflicting opinions out there. And every time you try to find the right tools for you and try to build your site, you just get 100 conflicting opinions and you end up more overwhelmed than ever. Or maybe this is you. I've got website shame and I've got it bad. Ugh, you're a pro and you know you're a pro. Your clients love you, but your site is not as legit as you are. Major cringe. You'd actually rather show somebody your awkward high school yearbook photo than your website. It's that bad. Or maybe this one sounds like you. I don't have a site yet, but I know I need one to grow. You know that you need a website to be taken seriously and reach your next level of business, and just posting on Facebook or Insta is not going to cut it. But secretly, you're sort of wondering, am I really good enough to pull this thing off? You know you need to, but you're struggling with some of that self-doubt or those hesitations. You wish you finally had a site that you're proud of, so you can stop leaving money on the table and start filling your calendar with months of clients instead. So I want you to tell me in the chat, what's holding you back? Which of those sounds like you? Do you have website shame? Do you have no website at all? Do you have tech overwhelm? Tell me what's going on for you guys. One of the most common ones I hear from creative people is the overwhelm piece of things. Let's see. Lisa from Brooklyn here says, thank you for having me. Oh, Lisa, you're so welcome. I'm so pleased to have you. Which of these sounds like you guys? Which one is holding you back? Are you feeling the shame? And I'm hearing somebody say that they're starting from scratch. No website at all. That is so normal. Another person says that totally website shame. They're working on it now. No website. Time to update my own site. Tech is the bane of my existence. Tech overwhelm, website shame, and overwhelm. Oh, you guys, this is just great. I don't know if you've seen Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, where she jumps up and down at people's messy houses and is like, I love mess. I feel that way when I hear you telling me these things. You tell me you have website shame, you tell me you have tech overwhelm. I'm like, yes, I love website shame and tech overwhelm because it is so fixable. Okay, so let's get into the fixes. Here is what you're gonna learn today. Number one, you'll learn how creativity can kill sales on your website and what you should do instead. Number two is you'll learn about the 4 best tech tools for your service-based business. 3 is that we're going to be diving into a simple step-by-step blueprint to help you turn referrals into clients on your homepage. Then we'll look at a really quick 1-sentence copy hack that'll help you plan your site from start to finish in 10 minutes or less, and ideally much less than 10 minutes because we got to keep moving. All right, number 5 is my number 1 behind-the-scenes secret to a site that sells. This one is my favorite. So let's get into it. Before we start digging into this content, I want to tell you a SparkNotes version of how I got here and how I learned all of this. 3 years ago, I was working a 9-to-5 job in a windowless cubicle in New York, and I reached my threshold there. I looked up the chain and realized I didn't want any of their jobs. So this is a picture of me on my very last day of work. What I did is I bought a one-way plane ticket. I quit sort of without a plan, and I started a travel blog. I was traveling around the world by myself, and I thought, yeah, I should start a blog, and I know people make money doing this, and this is going to be great. Except for that I had no freaking clue how to build a site. I'd been working in museums at the time. I was an art history major. I was not technical at all. And so I started devouring coding, design, and online marketing classes with the verve and the enthusiasm that I usually reserve for a Netflix binge or like a really good pizza. So maybe you can relate. Here are some of the things that I struggled with in those early days. I struggled with designing my site so that it would appeal to visitors. I didn't know which pages I needed, how to create content, or what to put where. It was kind of a mess, and not a good artistic mess like in the picture, like a hot, steaming mess. Number 2 is I struggled with website envy. I looked at everyone's sites and I felt jealous of how polished and how professional they looked. My first site honestly looked like a toddler built it. There's me, and there is an actual toddler. Number 3 is I struggled with learning the tech and how to set up my site for marketing. Even the so-called easy tools weren't very intuitive, and without the right guidance, I turned into a total grumpy tech gremlin. I pulled all-nighters, I spent hours and hours researching, and I looked a lot like that guy on the left. So after months of trial and error, literally months, I finally got it. Fast forward, and I switched from being a travel blogger to a web designer. Being a travel blogger, it's not that great. You actually have to spend a lot of time in cafes while other people have fun without you. And I realized I was much more passionate about design instead. Using all the strategies I'd learned and using all of those hours I'd put in, I ditched complexity, ditched complex tools and complex design, and I created a simple, clear site instead. And after I did, new leads started inquiring through my site every week. My email list filled up with people who were excited to hear from me. You probably got here through my email list, or some of you got here through my email list. So my email list filled up with people who are excited to hear from me and then buy from me and refer me to others and share my posts and promos. I also raised my rates quite significantly, and I started closing consult calls with ease. Because my site looked professional, people trusted me without ever meeting me, and they were willing and happy to pay those higher rates, and they were willing to book right away on the phone. This is huge if you're running a service-based business. Most of all, though, and you really can't put a price on this, is that I felt way more confident. I actually wanted to give people my URL. I was excited to hand out my card at conferences. Today, I am so happy and proud to say that I'm consistently booked out with months of clients in advance. Right now, I'm booking one-on-one projects for June, and it is a great feeling. I'm also calling the shots on when I work, where I work, and who I work with. I get to work with clients I love, some of whom are here in the chat today, who, when I emailed them earlier this month and I said, hey, I'm taking a month off this year to go to Bali, they said, go have fun, we support you. That's the kind of people I get to work with. They're the best. And then I also get to help others grow their business through the power of tech and design. And this is such an exciting one. I just love sharing what I know with other people to help them create amazing results in their businesses. So I want you to meet one of those people. This is my client, Laura Yost, and she's a family photographer here in New York. This is Laura with her gorgeous daughter. And Laura, after we redesigned her website, wrote to me and said, I never thought I'd be able to pay my rent doing what I love, but I can. I'm so happy and I love working on my own time. I had 30 shoots this month. 30! How did that happen? My new website is what happened. And I just love this quote so much because it really highlights the power of a good, simple website and good, simple design. It can be honestly transformative. So I want you to imagine for a second what it will feel like to, instead of being stuck in website shame or tech overwhelm, what would it feel like to get ideal clients inquiring through your site? What would it feel like to have people trust you instantly and stop feeling so awkward and salesy on your consult calls? And what would it feel like to have people saying things like, how soon can we get started? Instead of, let me think about it. Which we all know, let me think about it, is the kiss of death. It means that person is disappearing off into the ether, never to return. This is not what you want to be hearing. You want to hear, how soon can we get started? So where do we start? Where do we start in this workshop? How do you start creating this kind of website for yourself? First up is we need to talk about why creativity can kill sales on your website. This is such a big one. I see creative business owners struggle with this all the time because they think, I'm creative, so my website should be creative. Actually, overly creative design kills sales on your site because it's super confusing. I want you to think of your website like a house, and visitors in that house have certain expectations of what they'll find in each room and how things will work. In a kitchen, for example, you expect a toaster, some cabinets, maybe a microwave, an oven, and that room is to prepare food in. You do not expect to find a toilet in the kitchen, and so this is really weird and jarring, right? It's the same thing on your website. Your visitors have expectations and you need to be meeting them. Research from Google has shown that visitors strongly prefer website designs that look both simple and familiar. What this means is that people like clear, simple design that's easy to use, and they like design that they've seen before, that they're familiar with. This is really good news for you, and I hope that this helps you breathe a little sigh of relief. The next way that creativity can kill sales on your site is that it can lead to decision fatigue. Decision fatigue means that the more decisions you need to make, the worse you get at making decisions. So for example, if I lined up 7 soda bottles in front of you and I asked you to make decisions about each one of those bottles, like the guy in this picture here, and then after I'd asked you to make all those little choices, I said, hey, would you like to sign on to work with me? Or would you like to book a consult call with me? If I asked you to make an important decision, you wouldn't be able to make that decision properly because your processing power is diminished. I've already tired out your brain with all the little insignificant stuff. Here's a quote I love from Marie Forleo that really illustrates this point, which is, a confused mind always says no. And when you give your people too many decisions to make on your website, they will say no. Okay, so overly creative design can kill sales by looking unprofessional. We just don't buy from people we don't trust. It's as simple as that. And here's a really great study from Social Triggers to illustrate that point. So Social Triggers, their researcher, when she reviewed the reasons that people distrusted a website, 94% of people cited design problems. So not only does overly creative design can look unprofessional, but it can actually trigger people to distrust you and your business, which means they are not buying from you. Okay, so here are some things to avoid. This is a pretty exaggerated example, but I wanted to make this very, very, very clear. So don't get creative with your layouts. You see in this layout, things are kind of everywhere. It's really busy. It's really overwhelming. Don't do it. Don't give visitors too many options. Don't trigger that decision fatigue. Don't use clever language like send me a pigeon instead of contact me. You don't want to confuse people. And then don't pick too many colors and fonts. You can see on this page how many competing colors there are, how many competing fonts there are, and combined with the bonkers layout, this is probably not a website that you want to do business with. Would you feel good about giving the site your credit card information? Probably not. So here are some things I want you to do instead. I want you to use familiar layouts. Here's Gabby Bernstein's homepage, and this is a layout that you've probably seen all over the internet. There's a full width image at the top, then there are 3 little boxes that act as jumping in points. This is a great layout because we're really used to seeing it. We understand what this layout is supposed to do. I also want you to give people limited choices. So here, Gabby has very smartly only given people 3 choices of ways to go deeper into her website. She hasn't shown us every single piece of content that she's created over the last 15 years. Also, do use clear, direct language. Say things like contact me or about page. Keep it simple, keep it clear. Then do pick one accent color. You can see here that Gabby has this hot pink as her accent color, and it's just the one color. So this will help you unify your site, make your design look professional, and also keep you out of design overwhelm and procrastinating, which is where you fiddle endlessly with your fonts and colors and all of that. I also, in the vein of preventing procrastinating, I want you to pick 1 or 2 fonts maximum. Here on Gabby's site, you can see she's got kind of a handwriting font for her logo. Then the other font is clear and clean and used throughout. So she's keeping it really simple, and this design is much more attractive than this design, right? So here's the takeaway. When it comes to your website, simplicity sells. Keep it simple and let yourself off the hook for having to be creative on your website. Being too creative will kill your sales, so keep it nice and clear and simple. Now, I want to know from you in the chat, What's one thing that you could simplify on your site? If you feel relieved by this idea that simplicity sells and you don't have to be creative, I actually want you to tell me that as well. Has this helped give you sort of like a sense of like, okay, we have in the chat here, I'm so guilty of procrastinating. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. This is something that nearly everybody struggles with, fiddling around with all of the colors and fonts and spending hours and hours. We also have someone who says simplicity is key. No one wants a toilet in the kitchen. Absolutely not. We want kitchen stuff in the kitchen. A toilet in the kitchen is frankly just gross. Lisa says that she's really relieved. Crystal says, I agree, making it more clear. Love the idea of limited choices. Too many options has been my downfall before. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's keep going here and let's talk about, on the vein of limited options, tech options are some of the biggest things that cause overwhelm for us, right? So let's cover the 4 best tech tools for your service-based business so you can stop all the endless hours of research and just know what works already. So when you're selling services online, you need way more than just a website. You need a suite of tech tools that help you book clients, get paid, and stay in touch with those clients, preferably without making your life a living tech hell in the process. These tools should all be easy to use and play nicely. My 2 tech mottos are: the best tools are the ones you will actually use, and beginner-friendly, empire-equipped. This is a quote from my friend Mariah, and I just love this. It means that your tech tools should be easy enough for a complete beginner to use, but empire-equipped so that you could run a big, profitable, amazing business using those same tools. Okay, so here is my personal tech stack. I use Squarespace, which is where my website lives, and it's about $18 a month. I also use Acuity Scheduling to book calls with clients, and this comes free with my Squarespace plan. I use Zoom to host those calls with clients, and this is also free. And then I use Stripe to collect payments from people, and then this is free as well. So this is a really simple, really affordable suite of tools. Here's how it all fits together. Someone comes to my website, which is on Squarespace. Then they check out my services and they decide to book a call via Acuity Scheduling. And then I host the call with them on Zoom, face-to-face, we connect, it's great. And then they pay their deposit by credit card. Stripe takes the information and then deposits the money automatically into my bank account. It's really easy, it's really simple, and most importantly, my clients love using this system as well. Here's why I love Squarespace. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually got my start as a WordPress developer. And so I am much more WordPress savvy than the average person. And I designed and built websites on WordPress for a long time. But here's why I personally switched to Squarespace and why I love Squarespace for my clients. They have clean, beautiful templates. They've got a really simple but powerful drag and drop page builder. They have no tech maintenance at all. This one is huge. Squarespace HQ takes care of every single bit of techie and software updates. There are 0 minutes spent finding plugins. Plugins do not exist on Squarespace, and that's because they've built a suite of tools that just work right out of the box and all work with each other, so you don't have to spend hours hunting for the right contact form plugin. Such a waste of time. And then Squarespace doesn't have unlimited options, and that's a really good thing. So you've probably heard in Facebook groups before people whining like, Squarespace is so limited. Oh, you can't do everything under the sun with it. And WordPress is way better because it has unlimited options. Guys, this is not a good thing. Spoiler alert, unlimited options suck. It means that you have to do so much research, so much due diligence to find the tools that are right for you. And if you don't have a developer on hand or on your team, it's going to be a complete nightmare. Squarespace has taken that decision-making completely out of the question and just built a suite of simple, beautiful features that work, which is such a huge relief when you don't want to fight with your tech and you just want a site that works so you can go and market yourself and book clients already. So tell me in the chat. I want to know from you. Do you love your tech tools? Do you hate them? Have you ever heard that myth about Squarespace as well, that having limited options is a bad thing? Tell me what you are thinking. So we have somebody saying WP plugins are like a candy shop. You have to keep them all up to date or it becomes a greater security vulnerability. Absolutely, that's a great point about security. WordPress sites, because of the way the plugin system is structured and because of the nature of the way that they're built, are more vulnerable to being hacked. So you have to have security measures in place and you need to pay extra to get them. On Squarespace, it's a closed ecosystem. All that security is baked in, and so your site is way less likely to get hacked. We have somebody saying, I love Squarespace and I use it. That's awesome. I love Squarespace too. I always feel like if you can write an email, you could build a beautiful site on Squarespace. It's just so user-friendly, which is amazing. Okay, so now that you know which tech tools you're going to be using to run your service-based business, let's talk about how you actually get clients from your website. Your homepage is the front door to your website. It's the place that most people will come in. So let's go through a simple step-by-step blueprint for a homepage that helps you turn referrals and traffic into clients. Okay, so one quick question before we jump into this. I want to know from you, where did your last client come from? Was it a referral? Did they come in through social media, Google, somewhere else? My last two great clients, I had one person come in through a referral, another person come in through a referral, and one person come in through an in-person event. I'm seeing a lot of referrals here. We've got LinkedIn, referral, speaking engagement. That's cool. That's like an in-person type situation. We have Instagram, Google. That's awesome as well. Referral. All right, a referral event. I'm loving all of these referrals because if you said referral or in-person connection here, you are in such a great place to make sales through your website. This is because referrals already know, like, and trust you a little bit. They've heard awesome things about you from the person who told them about you. They know somebody who's worked with you and gotten results. They have that trust built up. Same if they've seen you speak on stage or if they've seen an Instagram live you've done where you've shared valuable tips. And the other great thing about referrals is that they're already looking for the services you're selling. They've asked somebody, hey, do you know a coach? Do you know a photographer? Do you know a yoga instructor? They're looking for you. And so by the time they land on your website, they're pretty close to making a buying decision already. You don't have to educate them about why they need a wedding photographer. They are just looking to hire a wedding photographer, and somebody has told them that you're great. So it is so important. Oh my God, it's so important that your website isn't asleep at the wheel at this point. This could make or break your whole sale. Your referral is going to go to your website. This is 2019. And no matter how strong the recommendation is, they will be visiting your website before they reach out to schedule a call with you or take that next step. And where are they going to land on your website? They are going to land on your homepage. So how is your homepage going to turn those referrals into clients? Let's break it down step by step. All right, quick water break first though. Okay, so I want you to think of your homepage like a first date. This is where somebody comes to get to know you better, to see who you are, to kind of check you out. This is not the page where you want to, this is not the place on a first date where you want to be proposing marriage to somebody, right? It's creepy, don't do it. So on your homepage, we're gonna be directing people to go learn more about you, to go check out your services page where they can book a call, or maybe even to go to your about page. We're not gonna be screaming at them, buy my stuff now, buy it now, or book a call, right? Think first date, not marriage proposal. So here's how it breaks down. The first part of your homepage is you need a logo and navigation. You need some way for people to find their way around your site, and you want to keep it clear, direct, and really simple. Next is you want to put what you're known for. So you want your main idea or elevator pitch up at the top of your site so people know really quickly and clearly what this site is for, that they're in the right place, what they're going to find here. And then you also need an action step. So after you've told them your elevator pitch, you need some kind of an action for people to take. And in this case, we're going to be sending people to your services page. So here's an example from She Can Coterie. She Can Coterie's elevator pitch says, scale your business and finally become the CEO you're meant to be with one of our expert business management team. Click here to see how we can help. Boom. Clean, clear, simple. It has my attention in the first 3 seconds of looking at this, and I know immediately what this business is about, how they can help me, and how I can take the next step with them by going to the services page. So after that introductory section, you want to follow it up with some more information. So you want to give people some jumping in points, and this is usually a summary of your 3 main offers. So what are the things that you're offering right now, and how do you want people working with you? And then give them an action step and link to the page for that package or link to the services page. Here's an example from my client, Amy. Amy's a bookkeeper, and on her homepage, you can see she's listed her 3 packages and given people a quick, easy way to just jump in and get started and learn more. After that is we need to show people what you look like and give them some context about who's behind this site, who's running this show, who will they be working with. So we need a short, friendly bio of you to build rapport. We need a well-lit photo of you. High quality, professional photo with good lighting will go a long way. No iPhone selfies, please. And then we need a button that links to your About page. Again, we're giving people that next step. So here's an example bio from my client Melanie's homepage. And you can see that her bio here is really short. You can definitely keep it brief. The point is to get people interested and then invite them to go deeper into your site and learn more. Next is you need to back up the things that you're saying with a glowing testimonial. You want to give social proof so that people see that others are recommending you. And with testimonials, you want to keep it short, sweet, and results oriented. For example, here's a testimonial from my client, Ron. He says, Cami took me from website shame to, man, I'm proud to send you there. And the stats back it up. I saw my email opt-ins increase by 43% and my website visits increase by 300%. So you can see short, clear, to the point, and very results oriented. And here we've got 2 results, which is great. We have the feelings result going from shame to pride, and then we have the concrete numbers to back it up. So this is a really good kind of little snippet of a testimonial to use. Last but not least, after we've given people proof that you're the real deal and you're great at what you do, because you are, we want to give them an option to stay in touch with you without having to do something big like booking a call or filling out your contact form. Not everyone who lands on your website is going to be ready to buy from you right away or take kind of a big next step like booking a call with you. They might just kind of be window shopping. And in case that's happening, we want to give them a way to stay in touch, and that is through your email list. So not every lead will be ready to book right away. Give them the option to stay in touch so you can continue to nurture that relationship through email. Here's an example of a very, very simple email list sign up from Lauren of Ellen Company. And it can be just as simple as an email sign up form and a short headline. And there you have it, a simple step-by-step blueprint for a homepage that turns referrals into clients by showing them the things that they need to see and hear and read from you before taking that next step and becoming a client or signing up for your email list. Feel free to screenshot this slide, you guys. I want you to have this blueprint and use it and implement it and tweak it. But yeah, take a screenshot so that you can remember what this step-by-step layout is. Okay, so the next step that we have here for creating a simple site that sells is a 1-sentence copy hack that'll help you plan your site from start to finish in 10 minutes or less. The reason we're going over this is that your homepage isn't the only game in website town, right? After somebody comes to your homepage, If you've set it up right, and if you've set it up the way that we just talked about, they'll be going deeper into your website. They'll be checking out your services. They'll be learning more on your About page. And so what happens when they do? Well, you need to have a solid plan in place for the rest of your website. Planning is a huge, huge part of creating a site that sells. And I use the framework that I'm about to show you for myself and my clients. So grab your pen, get your little screenshotting fingers ready, because I definitely want you to write this down. Okay, so fill in the blanks for me. I offer blank, blank, and blank, and I want people to hire me by blank. For example, I offer 60-minute consulting sessions, monthly bookkeeping, and high-end retainers. I want people to hire me by visiting my website and booking a call. So take just a second and write that down for me in your notebook. Awesome. Okay, now it's time to plan your site for sales and set up a solid structure. We're going to use that 10-second little copy hack to set your site's main goal, to get really clear on the functionality you need, to map out all your pages, and to guide your visitors to action. If you're sitting there thinking, no way can we do all of that off of one little sentence, then keep watching because I'm going to show you how. So let's set your site's main goal. Here's the question I want you to answer is, what's the most important action a visitor can take on your website based on the sentence you've just written? So in the example, we wrote down, I want people to buy from me by visiting my website and booking a call. So based on that, the most important action people can take is to book a call, and this is the main goal of your site. This is the #1 priority. Okay, next we're going to get clear on the functionality. So what does your site need to do to help you achieve that goal, and what kind of tools are you going to need? So again, look at the sentence that you wrote down and look at what you've put there. In the example, it's, I want people to buy from me by visiting my website and booking a call. And to make that happen, the website needs to exist in the first place, right? We need a website for people to visit, and the website needs to integrate with a scheduling software like Acuity so that people can book a call. Okay, now let's map out your pages. So I want you to think about, what do your visitors need to see and read on your site to help them take that main action? For example, if the main action is having people book a call, then visitors need to know where they should get started. And that's where your homepage comes in, to kind of direct that traffic to where they need to be. Visitors also need to know who you are. Who are they going to be working with? This is where your About page comes in. Your visitors also need to know what on earth you're offering. What are you selling? This is where a page like a services page comes in. They need to know why you're qualified, which is where you might have a blog to share your expertise and free value. And then they also need to know how to get in touch with you, so you're going to need a contact page. So you see how using that one very simple sentence has helped us break down exactly what people need to know, and then from there figure out our pages. So now we know that we need a home, about, services, blog, and contact page. It's nice and easy. Okay, so how are we going to get visitors from point A to point B? We have a list of the pages, and now I want you to think about the possible journeys that people might take through your site to get from one page to the end action you want them to take. And in your notebook, I actually want you to jot down some ideas here. So one possible journey might be that they land on your homepage first, then they go check out your services page, and then they book a call with you. Another journey might be they land on your homepage, they go read your About page, then they go check out your services page, and then they book a call with you. So write down for yourself what that might look like on your website and in your business. Now, congratulations, you did it. You have just planned your entire website in a very short amount of time. So here's a recap. We've planned the main goal of the site, which is booking a call. We figured out what functionality needs to exist to make that happen, which is that the website needs to exist in the first place and we need scheduling software. Then we mapped out the pages, home, about, services, blog, and contact, and we've created an action plan to help get your visitors from point A to point B. People will go to your homepage, then the services page, and then book a call, all through just using that one little sentence of, I offer blank, blank and blank, and I want people to buy it from me by doing blank. So easy, but so, so powerful. So I want you to tell me in the chat, who feels like this is all coming together? Is this starting to make sense to you? We've got a great question here. What about testimonials? Should that have a page? Here's how I like to deal with it, Jen. I like to sprinkle testimonials on every single page of my website so that no matter where somebody lands, they're seeing that social proof and they're seeing those really important testimonials. Then, because I know my clients and I know that people like to do a lot of research before hiring me, and hiring me is a big investment, they like to read all of the details. So I also have a dedicated testimonials page where they can go and get super nitty-gritty and just read everything. Somebody says, I like the simplicity. It provides focus and priority. Yeah, focus and priority are two really key things to having a website that helps you sell and book clients rather than just look pretty. The most effective websites are simple and focused and prioritized. Oh, good. Jen says she's been taking screenshots. Awesome. Shelly says she's loving it. Awesome, awesome. Okay, this is great, you guys. Let's keep going. All right, last but not least, we're going to talk about my #1 behind the scenes secret to a site that sells. So, your website is one piece of the sales puzzle. It's the top of the sales funnel, right? People come to your website first, then they travel through your website to take some kind of an action with you, like booking a call or joining your email list. But then a whole bunch of other stuff happens on the back end to actually get you paid and make sales. So your website is one piece of things, and email, like you can see on this slide, email is my top secret, not so secret, most favorite tool for helping nurture sales and make that happen. So I use plain text, really simple emails. Email is not dead by any stretch of the imagination. And like I said, it's actually where a lot of the sales magic happens behind the scenes of your website. I've used email to make tens of thousands of dollars in revenue, both through selling directly through email, saying, hey guys, I've got some spots open for design clients, book a call with me, or through referrals. I'll send out an email. Some of my past clients are on my list. They'll remember that I exist. They'll remember that they loved working with me. And suddenly I get referrals coming into my inbox from friends that they've put me in touch with. Email is such a beautiful tool for that. It helps you nurture leads, people who aren't ready to buy yet, get on your email list, and then you nurture them through your emails. It builds loyalty with your audience and your clients. It establishes your expertise, and your subscribers will become referrers. Even if people on your email list are not buying from you and aren't going to be your clients, those people will often become your biggest fans and champions and shout you from the rooftops, which is just great. So how do you get people to subscribe to your email list? Well, just saying join my list isn't enough. You need an enticing bonus offer. But here's the key, and here is the biggest mistake I see most service-based business owners making. Your email list offer needs to be the right offer to attract future clients and high quality subscribers to your list. It should not be just any old thing pitched at anybody. So how do you craft an email opt-in offer that's designed to fill your list with high quality future clients? Here's where most people get it wrong. Most people create an email opt-in freebie that's designed for a DIY audience. 10 steps to taking your own great photographs, how to do your own books, how to build your own website. Huge mistake, guys. People who are going to be hiring you one-on-one and paying for your one-on-one services are not in the market for DIY solutions. They want to work with somebody one-on-one, and so we want to be helping those people get on your list. So my favorite email opt-in incentive to help those people get on your list is a process checklist that ties into your top level service. So we're not telling people the nitty-gritty how to do their own bookkeeping. You're saying, here are the big picture things you need to know. Here are the steps you need to take in order to have your books ready for tax time. And then guess who can help you with that? I can, if that's your business, right? So your opt-in incentive should give people an overview of your process, a top-level overview of how things work, and then it really naturally positions you as the expert to help them, and you can invite them to book a call with you at the end of that opt-in freebie. So guys, tell me in the chat for a second before we do the recap, tell me in the chat if that opt-in freebie tip is helpful for you. Let's see. We have people asking about email tools. Yep, I use ConvertKit, but MailChimp is also great. So we have a question here about freebies and signing up to your email list. So the thing with the freebies that's great is that, in that PDF, you can invite people to book a call and make a button clickable in the PDF. So somebody can sign up to your list and then you deliver the freebie to them, and then they can book a call right from that freebie. So you're not having to send them a ton of emails afterwards. You just continue to nurture that relationship. All right, so to recap, today you learned all about how creativity can kill sales on your website and what to do instead. You learned about the 4 best tech tools for your service-based business website. You learned a simple step-by-step blueprint for a homepage that turns referrals into clients. You learned a 1-sentence copy hack that'll help you plan your site from start to finish in 10 minutes or less. And you learned my #1 behind-the-scenes secret to a site that sells, which is not so secretly good old-fashioned, boring, plain, amazing email. I love email very much. So you're here today, you're here with me on this Thursday afternoon on Valentine's Day because you're ready. You're ready to end the disconnect between who you are and what you look like online. You want a site that does the heavy lifting for you so you can book months of clients and break the feast or famine cycle. You want to pour a little bit of digital gasoline on your business already. You're here because you've tried before. You've tried before, but you've failed. After all the hours you've put into your site, you still don't have something you're happy with, and you want a fresh start. You want to wipe the slate clean. I'm here to tell you that now is your time. The tech tools have never been better and more user-friendly. The internet has never been more available to people around the world, and we've never needed the products or services that you offer more. Now is your time to step up and step out as the leader of your business and really shine online. It's your time to have a site that brings in consistent clients so that you can have the freedom that you started this business to create in the first place. It's your time to have a site that gives you the confidence to raise your rates and charge what you're worth. No more racing to the bottom on Facebook threads where everybody's trying to undercut each other. No more offering work on Fiverr. No more scrabbling. Charge what you're worth and have people who are happy to pay it. It's your time to feel the joy, the sheer joy of just saying the words, I'm booked out months in advance. Knowing where your revenue is coming from, where your next client is coming from, is just so freeing, and it really is like a joyful feeling. It's your time to stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating your new site and finally launch a site that you can feel proud of. It's time to stop putting it off until tomorrow or next month or the month after because you know that that doesn't work. You've tried it before and it does not work. Now, I want you to remember that nothing I've shared with you in this workshop today is just theory or ideas or mushy, vague concepts. These are all the things that me and my clients have done to build websites that help us book clients on autopilot, book speaking gigs, and run businesses that we're really proud of. I want you to remember that I'm also not a magical tech unicorn. I didn't go to college for this. I told you guys I was an art history major. I didn't have access to any special tools. You've seen what I use. I use Squarespace, I use Acuity, I use Zoom, And for email, I use ConvertKit, although I did start on MailChimp. So nothing special, right? You have access to all these tools as well. If I can do this, if I can learn this stuff and I can build a business that gives me the freedom that I want and helps me book clients who I'm proud to work with, I promise that you can too. You can completely do this. The question is, how are you going to create a website that helps you book those clients? How are you going to create and launch your client-winning website? Well, I'd like to invite you to join Simple Site Blueprint, which is a course I have that takes you step by step through the process. You're invited to come in and join us here and get the help that you need and get the support you need. Simple Site Blueprint is an online course that'll help you learn how to plan, build, and launch a simple site that sells with guidance from a step-by-step system. I cut out all the crap you don't need to know about, and I include the things you do need to know about, and I break it down step by step for you so that really anybody can do this simply and easily, because I know that you don't want to become a coder, you don't want to become a web designer, you just want a simple site that works. So I want you to meet Anna. Anna's one of my Simple Site Blueprint students, and she's a coach. And she wrote to me and she said, 4 weeks ago, I wouldn't have thought that I could make a decent website, but now I know if I keep doing the steps, I can. This is the power of having step-by-step guidance and having everything broken down for you. I also want you to meet Victoria. She's one of my Simple Site Blueprint students, and she wrote to me and said, I no longer feel like my website has to be perfect or that I'm not good enough. It's such a massive difference. My favorite part of the course is how my brain is no longer overwhelmed. I can't tell you how much therapy and techniques I've used to try to remove that glitch in my brain, and I didn't realize that a Squarespace website course would help the most. This is amazing. I'm just so happy about this because perfectionism and overwhelm really are horrible things. And here's Victoria, who has found this course more effective than therapy at helping with that. It's amazing. And then I want you to meet my client, Ron, to help show you what's possible in the future with a simple site that sells. So Ron says, Cami took me from website shame to, man, I'm proud to send you there. And the stats back it up. I saw my email opt-ins increase by 43% and my website visits increased by 300%. And actually, Ron had his first TEDx speaking gig this year, and he's also leading a retreat to Africa, where he's going to take people on photo safaris. It's just, he's done amazing things since we launched his site. It's been so cool to watch. All right, I also want you to meet Maggie. Maggie is a health and wellness coach, and she wrote and said, before Cami, I didn't want to show my website because of embarrassment. Today, I'm happily sharing my site. It feels awesome. And I'm so proud that this is something that Maggie feels because she's incredible at what she does. She gets her clients great results. They love her. And together we just closed that gap between who she is in real life and what she looks like online. And she feels awesome as a result and is happily sharing. Sharing is another word for marketing. So this is just great stuff. Okay, so here's what's included in Simple Site Blueprint. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. This program actually includes more than 6 core modules, which I'll run you through in a second. It's got 3 bonuses. It has templates and resources. It has checklists, video and audio training, an exclusive Facebook community for you, me, and the other people in the course, and then 4 weekly group calls with me so that you can get personal support. If you've ever been in a big online course where you haven't gotten any personal feedback and you feel like there's not a real human behind the screen who cares about you and your business, this is a completely different experience. By the end of Simple Site Blueprint, you'll have created and launched a simple website that's designed to help you sell. You'll have an email list and an email opt-in incentive. You'll have a scheduling link so that people can book a call with you. And most importantly of all, you'll know exactly how to update and edit your own tech so that you're not at the mercy of some website developer who's going to run off with your passwords, and you're not going to be out hundreds of dollars each time you need to make a little change to your website. You are going to know exactly how to update and edit your tech. So here's what you're going to learn nitty-gritty. Module 1 is all about laying a strategic foundation for your site. We're going to dive into website strategy, your products and services, your clients, and your sales process. By the end of it, you're going to have a really simple post-it note business plan where you can articulate all of your site strategy in one easy place. Module 2 is you'll learn how to translate that strategy into a plan for your site, just like we did on that homepage, except for much, much deeper. So you're going to learn how to map out each page of your site, how to set goals for your site, how to guide your visitors to action, and I'll give you a specific template that you can use here to make it all really simple. In Module 3, you're going to learn how to design your page layouts. So you're going to learn how to use a pen and paper, free tools you already have to design your whole site. Then you'll learn exactly what needs to be on each main page of your site, and I'll show you really in-depth examples from across different businesses online so that you not only understand the step-by-step of what I'm showing you, but you also understand the bigger picture so you can translate those ideas and apply it to yourself. And by the end of this module, you're going to have designed layouts for every page of your website, and those layouts will be really strategically engineered to help you book clients. In Module 4, we're actually going to build your site. I'm going to show you how to set up your Squarespace site, how to pick a Squarespace template that's best, how to install that template, how to add pages, how to set everything up properly, and then I'll show you how to translate the layouts you designed into real working layouts on your Squarespace site. This is such a great module because it starts coming to life and you start really seeing your site being built, and you're doing it in a way that's quick and easy and step-by-step. In Module 5, we're going to dive into images. So we'll add images into your Squarespace site. I'll teach you how to pick the best ones, where to find great stock photos, how to plan a photo shoot if you want to do a brand photo shoot, and then how to add in images to your site. Next, you'll learn all about classic style. So I'm going to teach you how to add style to your website with a focus on timeless principles that's going to make your site look sleek and professional for years to come and keep you out of that procrastinating, overwhelm nonsense. We are not going to be talking about crazy typography concepts or color theory concepts. I'm going to keep this really quick and easy and doable for you. And then in Module 7, you'll learn a really simple launch framework. So you'll know exactly what to do before your site goes live and you share it with the world. And then by the end of this module, your site, if you've been following along with us step by step, your site will be live. You'll have a polished, professional, working website online, which is going to feel so great. And then, of course, there are bonuses. What would a course be without bonuses, I ask you? So my bonuses are really focused to help you get the best results out of this course. So you're going to get some swipeable templates and copy trainings to help you craft compelling, client-winning words. I know copy is a huge struggle, so this bonus is great for that. You're also going to get an all about emails training where I'll show you how to actually set up your list, create a simple yet very high value freebie like the one we talked about, and then connect all the dots so you can start growing your list and marketing like a pro. Bonus number 3 is Acuity scheduling training. I'll show you how to set up your own scheduling link, integrate it with your website, and make booking sales calls an absolute breeze. And I want you guys to meet my student, Elke. She is in Simple Site Blueprint right now. And here's what she has to say about the content in the course. Elke says, OMG, I'm blown away by the first module. I cannot say how significant the insights were and how many simple and fantastic aha moments I had. This ideal client work. I am fucking clear on the woman I want to work with and don't, and so clear what I have to put on the site that I attract the right ones. Cami, I love the course. I didn't expect this in the first module. So simple, doable, and done. Happy dance here. Yes, I'm yelling. I can't wait to start the next module. This is just the kind of thing that I love to hear so much. There's no point in having an online course that's going to gather dust in your computer and that you're never going to make progress on. And I've designed Simple Site Blueprint really intentionally so that you can make progress. The steps are doable. You can move through it and you keep moving, just like Elke here. And then I want you to meet my client, Cara, to again show you what's possible in the future after you go through those steps. Cara says, my new site has given me so much confidence. I feel good about sending people there and charging a healthy coaching fee because it now reflects my level of expertise. Again, we've made Cara look as good online as she actually is in person, and now she feels confident in charging the rates she deserves. I also want you to meet Nancy. Nancy is another one of my Simple Site Blueprint students, and Nancy says, done for now. This simple phrase has become my new mantra. Fighting perfection is real, and Cami makes it easy to keep moving forward and creating a website that works. Cami's business experience is baked into the advice she gives. As a result, she steers you down a path that will help you reach the clients you want to attract. I want to do work I love for people I want to work with. While it might take many steps to get there, I finally feel like I'll get there. So Nancy's just starting to niche and figure out her clients and her offerings. And instead of feeling overwhelmed with the steps in the program and with the extra personal support and guidance that you get, she finally feels like she's going to get there, which is huge. So I want to invite you to join us for Simple Site Blueprint. I want to help you launch your client-winning website with the help of this step-by-step system and the baked-in support. If you scroll below this video, you'll see a button where you can enroll in the program, and I'd love to invite you to enroll in Simple Site Blueprint by clicking that button. Here's the deal, is that hiring me to do this for you would cost $5,000 plus. My projects these days are ranging between 5 and 10K, and I'm booked out until June. This says April, but it just changed, and so I'm booked out until June. You couldn't even pay me $5,000 to do your website before then. So the total value of all of this training, all of the templates, the community, and the resources in this program is well more than $2,000. Instead, you are going to be getting Simple Site Blueprint for just $397 or really accessible 5 payments of $97. This course is usually $497 at full price, but for this very limited time enrollment period, you'll be able to get it for $397 or 5 payments of $97. Enrolling's super simple, so here's how it works, and then we'll get into your questions. So I want you to just click the button below this video. Then you'll be taken to a secure checkout form where you'll have the chance to pick your payment plan and then press the green complete order button. And then once payment has been processed, you're going to get instant access to the course so you can jump in and get started with the first modules right away. And that access will come to you by email. So I want to invite you again to join us in Simple Site Blueprint if it sounds like a good fit for you, if you've been struggling with your website, and if you want to just finally create a simple site that sells with the guidance of a step-by-step system. Come join me, come join Anna, come join Victoria and Nancy and Elke and all the other incredible students in the program who are building their websites, building their businesses, and doing it in a way that's easy and makes sense. Okay, guys, I know you've got questions, and I know that we're at 2:07, so let's jump into the Q&A. I'm going to come back live on the screen here, stop screen sharing, and we will get into it. Okie dokie. Stop screen sharing now. There we go. Okay, can you see my face again? Let me know in the chat if you can see me. Oh, I love seeing all these messages come in, you guys. This is so awesome. This chat has been lively while I've been on my slides. Oh, good. Okay. Somebody says, there you are. Here I am. All right, let's get into the Q&A, guys. So let's see. Somebody asks, does Squarespace have good SEO tools? I switched from Squarespace to WordPress years ago and use Yoast SEO for the plugin. This is a huge myth that Squarespace doesn't have good SEO. Squarespace has great SEO and they're improving their features all the time. They just added some really cool new features in, actually. But I want you to think about with SEO, this is an area that a lot of us get really tripped up on. And I want you to think about, what is the goal of SEO? The goal of SEO is to get you traffic through Google, right? Why do you want traffic through Google? You want traffic through Google so that you can book clients, sell your products and services. So what I want you to think about is, unless you are booked out with a steady stream of clients from referrals, in-person connections, and social media, you have lower hanging fruit to pick than Google traffic in terms of booking clients, right? So when you are fully booked with a consistent, steady stream of clients from those other channels, then you can start paying attention and really zooming in on your SEO. And by that point, you can just hire somebody to help you with your SEO. But until that point, you've got lower hanging fruit to pick than worrying about going crazy about SEO. The core things to focus on with SEO are things like page speed, and is your site mobile friendly or not, and is it well coded? And Squarespace takes care of all of those things beautifully. Okay, somebody else says, as a new designer, I was under the impression that people won't pay you to be a Squarespace designer. Any thoughts? Oh my God, huge myth. Clients don't care which tools you use. I have some of my clients here. Guys, pop in the chat, will you vouch for me? You don't mind if I'm using Squarespace or WordPress or whatever. You just want a site that works and that's easy to use and easy to update and maintain. Your clients kind of want the same things you do. I design and build sites on Squarespace, and I charge $5,000 to $10,000 for my projects, and people are very happy to pay. So huge, huge myth that you can't charge for Squarespace sites. Okay, what if I want to create a membership site? If you want to create a membership site, I highly recommend using a third-party platform like Kajabi or Teachable. These tools are accessibly priced and they're really user-friendly, and they're much cheaper and more efficient than building out some big custom membership site on WordPress. So if you're using a third-party platform like Teachable or Kajabi, Squarespace will still work for you and it will still be great. Okay. So what email tools do I recommend? I recommend ConvertKit and MailChimp. MailChimp is free if you're just starting out. Great to get you rolling. ConvertKit does some more sophisticated things with tagging and audience segmenting. So as you get bigger, ConvertKit is a really, really good option. Okay, we have another question here about testimonials. So should testimonials have a dedicated page? We got into this a little bit earlier, but I like to do both. I like to sprinkle them all around your site in case people aren't looking at every page of your site, which they won't be. And then I like to have them, if you have enough to fill a dedicated page, put them on a dedicated page so people can do their research and really go deep with you. Okay, what's my advice? Oh, such a good question. What's my advice if you don't have any testimonials yet, or you don't have any professional photo shoot images? Well, if you don't have any pro images yet, you can use inexpensive or free stock photography. And there are some places that you can get these that are way better than others. And we get into that in the course. And if you haven't had a photo shoot yet, there are ways to DIY it or ways to do it inexpensively when you're just starting out. But I really do recommend investing in images and having that be one of the first investments you make besides just building your site in the first place. Next is, if you don't have testimonials yet, don't worry about it. If you don't have them to include, don't include them. As long as your site is set up cleanly and clearly to help you book clients like we've gone over in this workshop, you will be getting your first clients in soon enough, and then you'll get those testimonials and be able to feature them. You could also use, if your work has been featured in any publications, or if you, let's say in a corporate job, you worked with some larger name clients, you might want to consider using logos on your site as social proof, or listing out names of prominent organizations you've worked for as a kind of booster. Okay, somebody asks, what about GDPR and freebies? My understanding is that if somebody signs up for a freebie, you can't actually add them to your main list. They have to be separate unless they opt into your normal list. And does Squarespace have the ability to have the cookie bar on the site? Yeah, Squarespace has the cookie bar feature built in, and it is really easy to set up, which is great. You don't need extra plugins or extra tools to make that happen. And then with GDPR and freebies, so yeah, if you're offering an incentive to somebody to join your list and you are in the European Union, then you'll need to get additional permissions to continue to market to that person and email with them. This is EU specific, so if you're in the US, and people are joining your list from the US, then you don't need to worry about it, but you do need to worry about it if you're getting visitors from the EU or if you're based in the EU. So this is something that you can set up very easily within MailChimp or ConvertKit. And you should, if this is your question, DM me on Instagram after this webinar, because I've got a good blog post to send you. I'm of course not a lawyer and not a GDPR privacy policy expert, so I want to send you this blog post instead that'll really help explain some of that to you. Okay. Somebody else says there will always be people who still don't want to do all of the work. And how much does a Squarespace designer charge? I'd love to learn more about your process, and I'm a new designer focusing on WordPress. So again, your tools, if you're a designer, your tools don't particularly matter. Same goes if you're a photographer or a bookkeeper or a coach. Nobody cares about what camera you use or which bookkeeping software you use or, which modality you're using. They care about the results you help them get, the specific outcomes you help them get. So if you can clearly identify what those outcomes are, articulate them on your simple site that's designed to help you book clients, and then continue to message around those, you can set your prices to be whatever you would like them to be, whatever's sustainable for you and helps you run the business that you want to run. If you are talking to people about the results that your coaching or photography or design or bookkeeping or whatever it is helps them get, your customers will be happy to pay you no matter which specific tools you're using. All right, so another question here is that I've been learning Squarespace and WordPress after being a Joomla designer for 10 years. I'm not sure how I'm going to charge. WordPress will be the same as Joomla. Squarespace, I think I do a little less, not a lot. I plan on hand-holding all the same. Going back to my last question about results, you do not need to charge less, and you should not be charging less for Squarespace versus WordPress versus Joomla versus a Canon camera or a Nikon camera or Xero versus QuickBooks or whatever that looks like for you in your business. You need to focus on the results you give people, deliver amazing customer service. That customer service starts with your website, PS, right? Set up that great experience, and then it doesn't matter which tools you're using. Set your rates to a place where they're sustainable and comfortable for you. Do I still resize and optimize images in Squarespace? Does it increase page speed if you do? Yeah, Squarespace does some native image compression for you. They'll resize images that you upload. But yes, I still do resize them ahead of time before I upload. Okay, is Squarespace good for e-commerce websites? Squarespace does have e-commerce capabilities, but if you're selling physical products, I actually really recommend checking out a platform called Shopify for e-commerce. It's got a lot of great features, and it's similar to Squarespace in that it's an all-in-one platform, and I think that you'll really love it. So how did I get my first client? The question says, I was thinking about offering a freebie and building an email list, but I need to convert them into clients. Okay, when it comes to getting clients, guys, I want you to think about low-hanging fruit. I want you to think about your quickest way to clients and revenue. And the quickest way to sell anything is through a one-on-one connection, be it a referral or an in-person connection, right? Email list, like we talked about, is a great tool, but it's a long game. Email is where you nurture people and develop relationships. But if you're looking to book a client fast, you are looking for a relationship that you already have. So my first client was actually my boyfriend's aunt, somebody who already knew me, who already liked me, who already trusted me, and she paid me to build her a website. My next client was also somebody I knew. And to this day, I have clients who come in through my personal network. One of my Simple Site Blueprint students at the moment is somebody that I went to high school with and I haven't talked to in more than a decade. And now she's one of my students and I'm helping her build her business from scratch. Her name is Rocky. She runs a side hustle doing custom stationery from people. And we're working together to get her website off the ground and help her book those first clients. So if you are looking for clients right now, go to your existing network, tell them what you're available for, tell them what you're up to, and then all the better if you've got a simple, clear website that you can send them to and say, hey, this is what I'm doing now. If you know anybody who'd be a great fit, please put them in touch. Here's the place where they can get in touch with me. Now, somebody asks, do I recommend a dark theme or a light theme for your site? Well, this is really going to depend on you and your business and your audience, right? I want you to think about what we talked about earlier, keeping it clear and simple. People prefer design that's clean and simple and user-friendly, and that often means having a lot of white space so that your text and your images have room to breathe and people can find what they need easily. But if you are in an industry where a dark kind of design is appropriate, like let's say that you are running a heavy metal band, you're the lead singer of a heavy metal band, then you probably don't want to have some like light, bright, cheerful website. You probably want to have a darker, edgier site. So this really depends on your business and your audience, and getting clear around those things and getting clear on the expectations that your audience has from your design is something that I help you do in Simple Site Blueprint, which is great because it means you don't have to figure that out alone and you have feedback from somebody who can say, hey, I don't think black and red is really like that appropriate for a children's music company. So I see another question pop in here, which is so great. On the topic of first clients, did you charge for your first clients? And secondly, how did you determine your rates in the beginning? Also from New York, this workshop has been a godsend. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy that you're loving the workshop, and yay, fellow New Yorker. So my first clients, here's how it worked for me. My very first quote unquote client was a website that I did for free for a friend. I said, hey buddy, your website kind of sucks. I've been learning these skills. Will you let me redo it for you? And then can I use it in my portfolio? And my friend said, yeah, like, please take it. Of course, have it. And then what I did was I talked about the process of creating that website on social media. I took people who were just in my existing networks and brought them along for the ride with me. And then I let them know about it when it was live. And then when it was live, I said, hey, I'm actually doing this now for my job. So if you know anyone who's interested, here's where they can get in touch with me. And that's when my first paying client came in, which, like I told you, was my boyfriend's aunt. And at the time, I charged her I think it was $5.25 for her website. I don't know where the 25 came from, to be honest. I had no idea what to charge. I thought $5.25 sounded like so much for a website to me, and I'd never directly charged anybody for anything, even though before that I'd been working in museums and in galleries where we were, in the museum we had like priceless works of art, and in the gallery we were often selling paintings and sculptures for hundreds of thousands and sometimes millions of dollars. So even though I'd been around higher prices before, when it came to me I was like, oh, $5.25, please pay me. Oh my God, I nearly threw up. It was so scary. But after that first client, then I started to really think about, okay, how much do I want to earn in a year? And then how many client projects do I need to make that happen? And then breaking it down from there, what do I need to charge for each project to make it sustainable? And doing that math, $5.25 for a website is completely insane. And so I raised my rates slowly over time. I went from $5.25 to something like $9.97, and then up to $1,900, and then to $2,500, and so on and so forth until now, where my baseline package starts at $5,000, and I'm really happy with that rate, and people are happily booking it. So I hope that helps. Let me know in the chat. I know there's probably a little delay here, but let me know in the chat if that was helpful in answering your question. Okay, if we don't have any other questions, I will let you guys go off into your Thursday. Thank you so, so much for joining me here on this workshop. Don't forget to come connect with me. Connect with me over on Instagram at Camifari, hashtag SSB to talk about the workshop and share your thoughts, share any notes you took. And then if Simple Site Blueprint sounds like a good fit for you, if you want support and step-by-step guidance around creating your simple website, I'd love for you to come and join us in the program. Enrollment is open until that timer expires. The price of $397 is open until that timer expires. It's going to go away on Sunday night, and after that, enrollment is not going to be open again until the end of April, and then the price will be going up to $497. So this is your chance. If you feel like now is your time, which it really is, come join us in Simple Site Blueprint. Make sure you enroll and watch this replay again before the timer expires, and you'll get all the great benefits. You'll get started right away, and you will get that $100 savings on the price. All right, we have one last question here. This is a great question. Do clients have ongoing relationships with you, or is it build it and forget it? Absolutely not. No build it and forget it ever with me. I love building relationships with my clients, partly because I love my clients. I think they're really cool, interesting people doing interesting work in the world. And that's because I get to choose who I want to work with. And so I naturally want to stay in touch with them. Next is that most of my clients are on my email list, so they stay in touch with me that way. We're also connected on social media. And so most of my clients, if some of them, like we're doing ongoing work together, we have retainers, and some of them we don't, but we're connected socially in other ways. And this is a beautiful thing because it means that you get to keep a great connection alive with somebody. You get to sell new offerings and pitch new things to somebody who's already bought from you and who already likes you, which is always easier than finding a new client. And you get to nurture the relationship and tap into your client's network. This is so great because if your client hired you and had the budget to hire you and you enjoyed working with them and everything was great, there's a really good chance they know a bunch more people just like them. So those ongoing relationships are so key. And then once you've got those ongoing relationships and the clients are referring you and you're having those referrals come in, it's really important, like we talked about, to have a simple website that sells, to have your homepage set up correctly, to have everything designed so that it's clear and simple, so that when one of your past clients tells their friends, hey, go check out my photographer, go check out my coach, that then you get to pick up that ball and just run with it and work with more great people. Okay, one more question here, which is how do you deal with those people that you know personally and want to be your clients but expect a discount? I don't do discounts. I definitely don't. So when people come through my personal networks and say, hey, like, can you build a website for me? I'm really interested in web design. I get to send them to my clean, polished, professional site. And I say, oh my gosh, I would love to chat more about working together and learn about your project. If you want to learn a little bit more about what I'm up to these days, come check out my website where you'll be able to see my past work and my services. And then if that sounds like a good fit, we can hop on a call together to discuss it in more depth. Usually my projects start around X, whatever your project pricing is. So that way you're nurturing the relationship, you're giving them a really helpful response, but you're also letting them know, like, hey, I charge for this and I'm professional and need to be taken seriously. And if your website is set up correctly, you don't have to come out and say explicitly, I'm a professional and please take me seriously. They will know to take you seriously if your website is doing things right. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of discounts at all. I really think that they lead to bad projects and bad vibes for both you and your clients. And people value the things that they invest in. They really do. When I charge $5,000 for a website or more, I have clients show up at that level for me. They give me quick feedback. They pay me on time. They are engaged in the process in a way that, wasn't happening with $500 projects. So it's a really great tool in your arsenal to have your clean, professional, simple website set up right so that you have this public face of you and your business that does some of that stuff for you, right? I always think your website should be like both your hype man and your bouncer. It needs to be showing off the best of you and like promoting you and making you and your business look appealing to the right people. and it needs to be bouncing away the people who aren't a good fit. And if it's set up right, it will do both of those things. So if all of that sounds appealing to you, and if you want to learn more about that, come join us in Simple Site Blueprint. It's a really fantastic experience, both with step-by-step guidance through video trainings and tutorials, and one-on-one support from me and our community in the Facebook group and on those group calls. So click the button below this video to enroll. You have until Sunday night. And if you've got any questions, shoot me an email at hello@camifari.com or send me a DM on Instagram. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday, and thank you so much for joining me in here. This was so much fun. Okay, I will see you very, very soon. Bye.